are here today with Sparky, who is an 11-year-old paint cross quarter horse gelding that was actually only gelded and broken in about 12 months ago. Prior to that, he was a serving stallion and has quite a few foals on the ground. Sparky has taken to his new job quite well, so he is now a therapy horse with Horsing Around Equine Therapy, which is locally based at Karalee, so it is NDIS approved. And so what Sparky does his role in this job is to have riders being led around on him, and he does that job quite well. He's got a wonderful quiet temperament. He's a very easygoing, happy to please horse. So he's quite easy to work with. Now, my role with Sparky is to get him working in a deeper, rounder, more connected, open frame so that he is more balanced and more comfortable to ride. Because the owner of Horsing Around Equine Therapy, Tess, does actually want to ride him for herself. But right now, he's quite hollow in the back, on the forehand, and uses his underneck quite a lot. So his pole is like quite high, and that combined with his short pasterns makes him a little bit of a short choppy, gives him a short choppy stride, and he's actually not that comfortable to ride. He's not that balanced. He currently cannot canter an entire 20-meter circle. So this is where I come in with the Kula Lunge, which I've started Sparky off without the side reins attached so that he can get used to the hindquarter sling first, which, being the kind, calm horse he is, he's not bothered by it at all. I did start him off outside the round yard because I didn't realise the round yard was such a good size, so we do move him into the round yard just because I've actually got a little bit room in there.
Collected up.
Oh, I'm asking him to stop. He is saying no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to.
So I'm asking him very nicely. Stop.
Once I moved Sparky into the round yard, I loosely attached the side reins to get him used to having the feel of them attached to the bit. Again, he's not bothered by the side reins, so as the training session progresses, I do slowly tighten them up. And I move the side reins from being attached at the side to the girth to down through his front legs and attached to the girth underneath his bellies to encourage him to work in that longer, deeper frame. Again, I keep the side reins quite loose because what I found with Sparky is if you put too much pressure on his mouth, he continues to go forward and just ducks his nose behind the vertical. So by leaving the side reins looser and then utilising the long reins, I'm encouraging him to reach for... Sorry, we just got interrupted. So I'm just leaving the side reins looser to encourage him to reach for the contact, not tuck his nose behind the vertical. So Sparky has a really nice soft mouth, but he is quite unbalanced, and his owner tells me he jumps into the canter, and from what I have discovered asking him to canter, he has difficulty maintaining canter on the circle. So that is something that we need to work on the long reins before I start under saddle. So I did find that his canter at the moment is quite short and choppy, which is because, again, he's working that hollow frame, using the underneck, not engaging his hindquarters and stepping under, and so working with quite like an upside down frame. So he's been carrying himself that way for quite a long time, as let's not forget that he was broken in at 10. So that's 10 years of him carrying himself a certain way that we are now trying to undo and get him to utilise all those top line muscles so that he becomes more comfortable to ride. He'll lift and engage the thoracic sling and the pole will drop. But we are not doing this by shortening the side reins too much, because that would defeat the purpose. We're not trying to shorten the neck, we're trying to actually stretch the top line muscles. So I have also found that he can be a little bit difficult to get to a halt, which his owners tell me would be because he's had beginner riders pulling on his mouth. So he's learned to just duck behind the vertical and push through the contact. So the first time I asked him to stop, his owner thought I was trying to get him on the bit, but no, I was literally just trying to ask him to stop, and he's pushing his nose further and further back and pushing through that contact. So when he won't halt, I spiral the circle in until he understands what I want, and then he actually stops. So I have edited quite a bit of this video because it was about 30 minutes of footage, so I cut it down to about 11 minutes. So I'm just giving you the highlights. So I'm trying to show some transitions, a little bit of canter on both sides, and then you'll see from the start of the video where he's traveling in a very hollow upside down frame to the end here where he's starting to drop the pole and lift and carry his back. Obviously this is going to take time. It's not an overnight process because he's carried himself a certain way for a long time. But what I am looking to see with him is that when the pole drops, the side reins actually don't come into play. So he softens to the contact of the side reins, then he's just softened into the contact of the long reins, which is my hand. So I do lots of little vibrates with my inside rein, try to make sure our circle's fairly even, and just ensure that he's like chewing the bit and mouthing the bit and is soft and relaxed and happy. And you'll see here that his back is starting to lift. So this is with he is around 14.2, he's in the Kula Lunge standard size, he's quite a nice solid horse, and you can see we're starting to develop a even rhythm and tempo here. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel. Keep watching, checking back for future training videos of Sparky. I am hoping to get someone to video tomorrow's training session, or at least a little bit of it, not the whole thing. And thank you for watching.
For more than a second, but there's the way. And especially because he's older as well when he was broken in. So we've had like a long time to establish this very upright. But because he's just such a nice, kind, compliant horse, he's willing to give it a go and like have a stretch and be like, oh well, this is what you're asking for.
That's what I thought. I thought he's a waste being a stallion, unbroken stallion.
Oh, absolutely. He's beautiful. I mean, well, he's got a beautiful temperament and he's a nice, fast horse. So, they're going to be comfortable. Get caught. Come on. Yes. Yeah. Go to trot. Trot.